we've got two dudes who really, like I said, need no introduction. These guys are absolute powerhouses. They're visionaries. They're founders. They're just overall awesome guys. Have a lot of love and respect for both of them. Please give a warm welcome to Luca and to Farokh. Let's go, boys. Woo!
Luca, 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 Luca. What's up, brother? Good? I need that sweater, bro. Damn, it's fire. All right. I heard Quinn, shout out to Quinn, by the way. She asked you guys where the energy's at. I didn't hear enough energy. What up, y'all? How's everyone doing, Paris? That's better, right? There you go. Wow, shout out to NFT Paris. This is like, and you and I do a lot of conferences.
These guys throw good events. It's like back to back now, good ones.
Yeah, this is packed. You know, you go to a lot of conferences, sometimes like 12 people in the room.
I hate those.
Yeah, there's like not enough seats right now.
Yeah.
That's how packed this place is. I love it. All right, Luca, we haven't chatted in like a whole 12 hours. It's been a while.
24.
24, yeah, 24. Yeah, I missed you. I went to Abstract thing last night. It was fun.
I know. I was feeling a little under the weather. I was like, oh, if I get sick now. At the receptionist, the woman was like, there's a flu going around Paris. I was like, oh, I'm starting to feel it. I was like, I can't go to that. Going to the next one, though. Tonight, we're throwing something.
Great. I've been shaking hands all day. Oh, my God.
Me too.
So, Luca, man, you've been busy. You've been busy. Pudgy Penguins are killing it, of course, always. Who has a Pudgy Penguin in here? Who's got a Pudgy Penguin? Little Pudgies count too. Okay, Rod's as well. All right. Who's on Abstract? There you go.
I like to see it.
I love that. I mean, we're on Abstract. Myriad's on Abstract.
Pengu Markets.
Pengu Markets are live.
I'm betting when I get home.
Hell yeah. I think the first market's you versus me in poker, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Is that streaming? We're streaming that?
Yeah, on apps.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. So how's everything been? Like we're saying, we're busy with Myriad, which is on Abstract. We have Abstract going on. You got Pengu, you got Pudgy Penguins, everything. Like, how's the last couple months been?
I think it's been good. I think the space is entering a little bit of a new dynamic that I'm kind of excited to be a part of. I think whether we know it or not, I believe we've kind of hit the plateau in terms of institutional adoption. I think we'll see a little bit more of it. But if you've kind of noticed, it's not really moving the needle for the people that are here unless you're holding Bitcoin and maybe some of the top majors. But I think a lot of the people building in the space, a lot of people in the trenches, aren't really seeing necessarily the network effect from that today. And I think that's why the pivot and the paradigm is going to shift towards consumer. I mean, consumer is the final frontier. The days of looking towards the people that are in this room and not to the people that are outside of this building walking around, those days have to come to an end. And somebody's going to have to lead the charge, whether it's us, whether it's somebody else. I think we've really put our hat into that ring where it's like, look, the people around the space need to come in, and that transition needs to happen. And that's our focus. That's our mission here at the Igloo. Everything that we do at Pudgy Penguins, whether it's Pengu, whether it's Abstract, everything has to be positioned for this future that is, I think, everybody being on chain and everybody participating. But rather than just like using it as a tagline, actually doing it, right? Like actually trying to put, with Pudgy putting products in Walmart, with Pengu, you guys are going to see what we're going to be doing here shortly in terms of how we're going outside of the space in a bigger and better fashion. With Abstract, maybe to the people that have experienced it, like that platform is built, that experience is built for the new user. And I think you're just going to have to go in this direction. And I think the people that are not are going to be in a perpetual rat race, chasing the same user, chasing the same tail. And I think, though, on the other side of it, people might not get it today. People might not get, what building for that end consumer is. But everyone's going in this direction. Every big company. I know what Phantom and those guys are doing in the background. I know what some of these chains are doing in the background. Everyone's going towards this end destination of that mass market user. And I encourage everyone to start thinking in this light, because that's where the puck is going. I think as your guys' job as investors, as community members, as traders, like you got to start not looking at where the puck currently is, like where is the puck going? And the puck is going consumer. And this is where I think the space is going to really evolve here over the next couple of years.
So how do we, a lot of people love, and that's like, it was the same thing in 21, right? It's like everyone's like mass onboarding, the masses, this and that. You have a lot of people trying to do so. how do we actually get the people hooked? Like, a lot of people come in the space, get burnt in the casino quick, and then leave. How do we actually hook them?
Yeah, I think the difference between now and 2021 is the tech is actually there.
Yes.
Like, and I don't want to toot our own horn, but like, I think what we accomplish at Abstract, things we could have done better, things we could do worse, et cetera, but I think what we have is the best 0 to 1 into a chain, right? So
Why
like,
is that?
you could, so if you guys are not familiar, go to abs.xyz, give it to your mom, give it to your brother, tell them to go make an account, tell them to go on chain, give them maybe a reward for performing an action. Like, the actual 0 to 1 of getting on chain, if you go through that flow, is like, look, email, verification code, I'm in, fund, put credit card, I'm in. Like, I'm just in if I just like
It's
follow
flawless.
the instructions. It's really, really easy. And that wasn't possible before, right? Like, even when you make a transaction, like, there's no like signatures popping up everywhere. Like, this is, you know, you're seeing this a lot with the Solana ecosystem. They've done this the best, right? But like, the tech is finally here versus 2021. And so what do I think we need? I think we need a compelling case. So I've been a huge advocate of like, you know, a lot of people in crypto I've noticed they've built like, they always optimize for the Web3 user. For any of the builders or the founders listening to this, you know, one thing that I've told people a lot is like, I think we're still, again, even though the tech is here, the mindset is still not here, because builders in crypto have been rewarded for catering to the same power user, right? So, for example, if I'm building a crypto application today, a lot of the language and how I actually frame and the copy within that application is catered to a Web3 user. And if you're in Web3, you understand it, and if you're not, there's 0 chance that somebody's gonna onboard, or maybe a 1% chance. I encourage people to look at like, a Web3 user is a Web2 user. Right? So speak to regular people, because your TAM is in the billions, right? And Web3 people are not aliens, they're Web2 users. They can go and use the same applications that, you know, Web3 people understand Web2 language. Web2 people do not understand Web3 language. So I actually think there's, with the technology now being here, there's a paradigm shift that needs to happen in like, from the actual builder level on like framing and positioning and really catering to the mass, because the Web3 user will use that easily, but the Web2 user will never understand the Web3 language and positioning. So I think there's a little bit of, you know, there needs to be explosive products. I'm a big component and a big advocate for fun and viral and simple and stupid. Everyone tries to build AAA. Everyone tries to build the next great innovation. In reality, if you look at like, let's use gaming for example. Web 1 gaming broke through a simple and stupid game. Web 2 gaming broke through the same way. Like, Web 3 gaming is not going to break through a AAA platform. It's going to break through something simple and stupid. Like, let's not try to optimize and reinvent the wheel. Like, what does crypto do? What does blockchain do? Blockchain is global composability. It's global liquidity. It's Stripe without the bullshit of Stripe banning you and taking you out, right? Like, that's what it is. Like, let's stop trying to make it like something like way more like sophisticated and complicated than that, right? And I think just that edge case is enough. We need to build fun stuff. We need to build simple stuff. We need to speak to Web2 users, stop all this Web3 language mumbo jumbo. Create account means the same thing as connect wallet. One is universal, one only you guys know, right? Like, there's a paradigm shift, and somebody needs to lead that charge, whether it's me, whether it's people adjacent to me, whether it's a group of us all leading that charge. I think that is probably the first step, and then you got to open up the marketing floodgates. One thing that I'm excited to do this year, and obviously we've been doing that for a couple of years now, but like really trying to make something familiar and credible and take people from the outside and bring them in. It's time. It's that moment that the tech is actually finally here. You can see it, you know, through what we've built at Abstract. If you go through that experience, you see it every day on Solana for the people who participate in that Phantom ecosystem. It's here, and so now it's just like a paradigm shift. It's a framing shift. It's a mindset shift. And then once I think you have a decent bucket of things that have shifted in that direction, I think it just becomes a marketing masterclass. And you know, crypto's good at that, because no better marketing than people making money, which crypto does very well.
Definitely. Who's making money in crypto?
Not right now.
Not me.
It's been a rough 2 months.
Is everybody here, I just want to understand the crowd a bit. Well, it's packed. Jesus. Wow, they love you, dude. They're definitely here for you, not me. Who's like in crypto? Like, who's like involved? Who's actively like building in crypto, investing in crypto? Okay, wow. Okay, so there's quite a bit. Who's used Abstract so far? Like, actually made an account? It's okay if you haven't, Okay, good. So we have some onboarding to do. abs.xyz. You can even do it on your phone, right? It's that simple.
You can do it on your phone. The
All right,
phone,
pull up
phone
your
experience
phones,
is good.
abs.xyz, and then go to Myriad Markets and also put a prediction in. Right, perfect. Come on, man, I gotta show my shit. So anyway, so like why a chain, right? You know, I think there's like a big criticism in the space right now. The main one is like, we need more apps, less chains. We're on the app side, you're on the chain side, but I think that together it's building something pretty powerful. But why did you decide to go down the blockchain route for the Pudgy Penguins?
Because I just think there's problems that nobody else is solving. Like the elephant in the room is we built a chain because I was getting offered 15, 20, 30 million dollars to go build on somebody else's chain.
Yeah.
And then so I was like, okay, that's a lot of money. I got to go figure out why they're offering me all this money. And I went to go and I took a deep dive in all of them and I said, wait, you guys are all doing the same thing. And I said that no one's actually trying to do something different. And the thing is with blockchains today, it's important that as users, investors, you guys realize this, the tech is being commoditized. So let's look at LLMs, which is like something a lot of people understand in the AI space. Let's look at blockchains as LLMs as the same thing, right? With the exception of like some government enterprise LLM, within 5 years, all LLMs will do some version of the same. Blockchains are the same thing. They're all going to do some version of the same. Send transactions quickly to the end person, right? Like if that is the purpose of a blockchain, you know, obviously there's different principles. One's maybe a little faster. One's maybe a little more decentralized. You pick which variable matters to you. They all, I guess, have different components in that respect. But in principle, you know, blockchains are, you know, global ledgers that people can kind of verify. They tap into global composability, meaning everyone can build on top of it as long as you have an internet connection. And probably the most important part, which is global liquidity, right? Like, you know, if I'm in Asia or if I'm in Europe, if I have an internet connection, I can tap into the chain. When you look at these principles and understanding that all chains will do the same thing 5 years from now, if you ask you know, the LLM guys, like what's going to differentiate Claude and Gemini and ChatGPT, the smartest guys in the world, because that's just where they are right now, are saying that the value is in the wrapper, right? The value is in the brand, the value is in the experience, the value is in the interface, the value is in the community, right? And so I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, well, if that's where the value is getting accrued, right? Like ChatGPT is not more valuable than Claude because the LLM is better. It's more valuable because the interface is better, because it's more adopted, it has more users, the community is stronger, right? Like that's what makes ChatGPT a $100 billion business, right? Obviously it innovated things like that, but you know, that's where the moat is today. That's where the enterprise value is today. And so you look at blockchains, well, it's like, okay, everyone's innovating on the chain. I'll let all the smarter people in the room innovate on the chain. And when they come up with the next great innovation, we'll just copy and paste it and we'll put it on our chain, right? The innovation's actually coming in the taste, in the swag, in the interface, in the brand, right? And so I'm like, well, if that's where the value's accrued, I think we have the best community in crypto. So shout out to everyone a part of the community, I really do. I think we have a finger on the pulse on what it means to build for consumer. I think we understand mass. I think you see that to our experience. I think part of, you know, our drawback at Abstract was I think we built too much for that new user and not for the existing user. And we thought about it. We sat down and we had a meeting. We're like, wait, so should we build for the existing user or are we going to stick to our guns? I thought about it for a day because I was like, oh, should we build for the existing user? And I was like, fuck no. I'm building for the fucking future. Have some vision, right? There's 100 things for the existing user. You want to go play with the existing user? Great, there's 1,000 things for you, right? When everyone goes left, you go fucking right. When everyone looks inwards, you go outwards. That's the difference between people who stand the test of time and the communities and the groups who win and those who lose, right? So fuck no, I'm not going to go make the same shit that everyone's making. There's 100 of that. I'm going to go stick to my guns because I know the way that we're building it is the right way. And whether you see it today or not doesn't matter to me. You will see it one day, right? And that's when everyone will come in. They thought about it at Pudgy. Everyone laughed at us at Walmart. They're putting plushies and toys. Look how that shook out. If you would have bought Pudgies when we went in Walmart, you might be on a boat right now. Some of you already are, right? The point of the matter is like you should have, that was your time, right? And the same moment is now, right? So I'm sticking to my guns. They laughed at us when we were in Walmart, right? All right, laugh at me now.
They laughed a lot.
They did.
They laughed a lot.
And they're doing the same thing now because we didn't.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, and it's going to happen. It's going to transpire the same way. But that's what makes things great is ultimately if everyone's in alignment with you, you're probably not doing something right.
I love that. As someone who's actually literally building on Abstract, like literally like my biggest bet in my career, the latest one, is you, right? And we decided to move our entire company on there, right? Like so, as you all know, we own Rug Radio, Decrypt, and now Myriad Markets. And the reason for that is because I believe in this guy. I think a lot of you do, right? When he speaks like this, like, I get like this tingling sensation. But it's mostly like because you're building for not the existing user, but people that will come. And I think that's a big problem we have in the space. We talk about onboarding so much, but onboarding who? I'm not gonna onboard you guys to crypto if you're already in crypto. I'm trying to onboard like your family members and the next person. And that's the biggest misconception in the space. It's like we keep talking about onboarding, but it's the same thing. That's why when a token pumps, the rest dump. Because we're not enough people yet. So it's not PvE, right? And you're building something that's PvE, so player versus everyone, for everybody to thrive. And so when we gone to abstract, we're like, yo, why abstract? There's all these chains, and just like you, right? Like we're approached by everybody, like L1s, L2s, etc. Like, why abstract? And my answer is very simple, is because people are gonna be using this seamlessly. It's simple. You make an account, you log in, and you play it, just like you log into your email, but it's on chain. All our transactions are on chain. You can see them on ABS, like the app scan and everything. The difference is that these guys are actually trying to get to those masses, right? And I think that's really like the important part of it all, is like you don't care, right? You could inflate the TVLs. Everyone says, oh, this chain has like $1 billion TVL.
Dude,
Bro,
TVL, just so you guys know, it's the most fugazi metric of all time. There's a deal.
It's a scam.
I can go do a deal right now to some dude in China. I already got the number. $1 billion in TVL for 2% of my token supply. It pop $1 billion. And you think that's the metric. It's fugazi. It's like Solana too. Like Solana's TVL compared to Ethereum, I think
it's like 1/10.
It's like I think it's way worse than that. I think it's like actually significantly less than that. Or as of recently, it might have took a bump. But it was like Solana TVL for the longest, even when it was starting to run a year ago, a couple $1 billion. But it's where all the action was. So like there's also like this misconception of what matters, right? What matters is like the virality, is like, are people talking about it, right? You can't fake that. You can't fake the timeline. You can honestly fake every other metric. So don't judge a chain by its metrics, right? Because it's just like Solana. Like if you judge Solana, if you looked at Solana's metrics versus Ethereum's metrics, most of Ethereum's metrics are better, but everyone knows that like if you're on the timeline, you know it's on Solana, right? So let the timeline, the alpha for you, I want you guys to leave here with valuable things that improve your crypto career or your trading career, right? Like one, all the metrics are fugazi, right? Just know that, fugazi, all of it can be faked. It's very easy to fake it. The second one is, how do you determine what's real and what's not? The timeline. The timeline will tell you all, right? And then your impression of the timeline. But don't be fooled, because that's another thing. Like there's been a game of being fooled for so long within the space, and it's like let's evolve. Let's no longer be fooled by what they've thought or try to convince us mattered or not.
I love that. Speaking of evolving, one thing I love is a big fan of yours is Hunter Horsley, CEO of Bitwise, so one of the largest institutions in the world, right? When it comes to investing, they have an ETF for Bitcoin. They're the ones who filed the Dogecoin ETF actually recently. And they seem to be very bullish on you because they clearly see something in you on the institutional level. Recently, Igloo Inc., you guys made a post about bringing this institutional capital into the industry and specifically towards, you guys, like whatever Igloo Inc. owns, meaning Pudgy Penguins, and the NFT title company, Pengu and its token, and then obviously Abstract Chain. So where are you guys evolving towards?
Yeah, so probably because we're at NFT Paris, I probably should give some alpha.
Come on,
a lot of people
finally.
in here.
I was trying, guys. I was trying.
I think you guys. I think you'll see from us shortly. Hopefully, obviously, like things have to. The governmental legal process for things like this are tough.
In case of investigation.
But I think you'll see the first ever NFT institutional vehicle from us. I think you'll see that here shortly. So I think that's the alpha.
Hold on. He said we're going to see the first NFT institutional
vehicle or shot at it.
I think Larry Fink is buying Pudgy Penguins, y'all.
No.
Yeah! I don't want to start rumors. Stop. I didn't say that. Don't quote me.
But that's something we're really trying to push towards. I think from like two facets. I think floodgates are opening on the ETF side. You saw Doge. We're really inspired by that. I'm a huge advocate, regardless of what happens in the short term. I believe Pengu. When you look at it in the memetic category, I think there's nothing better with the exception of Doge. I think that's the only one, and that's a throne that's going to be hard to dethrone. I like Farkcoin. I know if you saw my Solana wallets, it's Farkcoin, it's Pengu, and it's AI16Z. That's my.
That's really it, right?
Those are my Solana wallets. You see, so there's the alpha. But It's true. That's you can find them at this point.
Mine too.
Dudes are so that's those are my positions on the Solana shitter ecosystem. But nonetheless, I do think from a Pengu perspective, we're inspired by that because we look at it and we think to ourselves like, dude, at the end of the day, there is no crypto native character in crypto today that's getting more impressions, more views, more exposure than Pudgy Penguins.
How many billions of views right now?
It's 45 just on Giphy, but Tenor's ripping up. We're on 8. We're taking over Asia networks now. People don't even know what the stuff we're doing on Kakao and some of these these places. People don't like the magnitude of impression around the Penguin is bar none. Nothing's coming close to it, right? So over the course of time, I don't think people. So I'm inspired by that. I also think from a traditional perspective, it's my job, as the leader of the Igloo. I think the Pudgy Penguin brand, and I think you guys will see this as retail really comes in. I think we're the furthest thing on the right curve. So there's left curve, there's mid curve, there's right curve. Everyone's familiar with the term. I won't educate people on it. But where I think our edge is I think we're the most easily understandable thing in crypto for the regular person to understand.
100%.
Oh, Pudgy Penguins brand, Walmart, Target, Instagram, TikTok. Like, it's very easy for your friend, your family member, or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, to understand it. And so that's really important because if you actually understand things like Doge and XRP, like how these things actually go into these like crazy stratospheres and meet new people. I'm not like CT has been really huge for us, but now I'm thinking like how do you do what XRP did? How do you do it? Because that's a whole different world than the majority of the people in here.
But there's a reason that thing is like the third largest cryptocurrency.
It's a whole different sphere, right? And there's something about it being so right curve, right? That like, okay, the narrative around XRP, banks are using, okay, very easily understandable, And so like that's where my mind is going. In the short term, I don't know how people will feel about that. In the mid to long term, I know we're gonna win because of it. And I know we're gonna take this stuff to new heights. Everyone in our ecosystem is gonna be stoked if we go in this direction and we pull it off. And I think that's gonna speak towards the abstract ecosystem. I think it's gonna speak towards the NFTs. I think it's gonna speak towards the token and obviously a lot of things that we have to do, but I'm trying to think like we've put in the work here. How do we go to this next tranche of that normie group that is in crypto, but also that normie group that's not in crypto, and we bring them all in and try to converge it all into the Penguin.
Wow. God damn it. You're good at this, dude. You're really good at it. I did the same thing with him last year here at the other location. You were good, but now you're great. I got to give it your flowers. And I still need that sweater.
It's the vibe. I feel like I'm at a
Dude,
speakeasy.
this energy's sick.
I feel like I'm like, Malcolm X or something. Like
Yeah, I kind of want to sit here. I know we're probably short on time, right? We should be cutting it, right?
We're figuring something out over here, guys.
Yeah. I kind of want to delay the stage even longer. I want to sit here and I don't want to move, but I'm supposed to speak here later. So if I delay it, I'll be speaking at 10 p.m.
For? Are they going to move? You're not moving us out anytime soon, are you?
No, we're staying. No, I'm kidding. Guy in the next panel is going to go. All right, well, listen, Luca, I think we went around the horn pretty well. Is this like one last thing that I may not have asked you or touched on? I feel like we kind of like talked about everything. One last thing for the audience. What should they do now? As soon as they're done, you should definitely stay for the next people. Okay, don't just leave. But like besides that,
I want you guys to hold me accountable. I actually have done this a couple times. So it's a big room. 2 years ago, I did the Benzinga space, Benzinga stage at the Benzinga conference in New York. I told them that we would be the biggest NFT project that year, and we were. We ended up doing that. I think the last one that I did is I said we would flip the CryptoPunk. We almost did. So we could have if I could have let it run. We could have if I wanted to.
You were close.
I was really close. I could have if I wanted to. I think the thing I want you guys to hold me accountable here is over the next year. Abstract's going to flip on a dime. I think it's going to be the biggest L2 by a Texas mile. I think we're going to do something from a consumer perspective that nobody else has done. Whether you believe it now or not, it doesn't really matter to me. It's going to happen. I think the second one is I think Pudgy Penguins and Pengu are going to break through in a way that if you thought the last couple of years have been great, I think this year is going to be our biggest and best year by a Texas mile. I think what we're going to do for the space from a partnership, from a gaming perspective, from a headline perspective, is bar none to any other year that you've seen from us. And so I want you guys to hold me accountable. When I come here next year, I want you guys to look at me and it be on the backs of, I think, one of the greatest chain and onboarding stories crypto's ever seen. And I think one of the most prolific the most prolific IP story that crypto's ever seen with what we're going to do on the Pudgy Penguins and Pengu side. So hold me accountable this time next year. If those two things are not true, I want somebody to stand up and call me out for everyone to see.
I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, Luca Nets. One last thing before we go. I know you like to do this, so I'll do it for you this time. When I say Pudgy, you say penguins. Pudgy! Penguins. Pudgy! Penguins. Let's go, baby! Shout Paris. Peace out.